Cool. Well, thank you and hello all. And I will just try to keep you entertained. Bear with me. I know I'm the third one in our wonderful crowd today. And actually, for the start, I want to thank the previous speakers because um, I'm a recruiter. So I will be talking to you a bit from another side today. And it's always interesting to see this two-ways connection or to hear the feedback from the people who work with the LinkedIn platform and with the people who are on the hiring manager side and so on. So um, just a little bit about me. My name is Ludmila or Lumi. I live in Finland, have been traveling around the world. So my main language nowadays is English, but I can try to speak any other languages. Feel free to connect to me in my LinkedIn. You can easily find me on any other platforms, but I would say LinkedIn probably the one where I'm the most active. I'm working mostly in the tech recruitment, and my today talk will be in many cases reflecting the tech world as it's just like my experience that have been for the past 6 years. I call myself recruiter, talent acquisition partner, sourcer. Finnish language can be called as one of the super skills. And I'm on the mission here to humanize a bit picture of the recruiter, to tell you about what is going on another side, as we are very often being this in between layer. We are very often seen the person that stands between the candidate and the career, or between the candidate and the actual people the candidate wants to talk to. Today as well, I'm representing Ivan. It's a company where I'm working at. So please check out our career website. We are really active with the open source, and I'm absolutely adore the idea to building your personal brand into the open source and like go to the open source in general. So, as I said, what we're going to talk today, I want this talk to be a bit useful for you. I want you to leave, or like after listening this talk, to have the ideas to think about, actionable points, to understand what is behind the scene, to understand what you can expect from the candidate journey, uh, actually to understand what's happening behind the curtain, pretty much. As well, I will leave a few recommendations, like actionable points, what you can already start doing right now, and well, the plan of actions. Feel free to ask any questions, feel free to leave any comments, and as I said, connect. At the beginning, I would love to a bit share the glossary or to explain what is a talent acquisition partner. Nowadays, it's very popular term. Recruiters, HR, we have been named differently. Recently, we became the talent acquisition partner. And I personally like this term a bit better because a recruiter, it's someone who just recruits. Talent acquisition partners or recruiters, HR people, the one who are helping with these processes, we do way more than just recruiting. We're the one who are connected to you, to the candidates. We're the ones who are connected to the hiring managers. We're the ones who are connected to the business. In the best case scenario, we're the ones who know the market. We're the ones who are coordinating. We're the ones who are helping the whole process to go smooth. And when I'm talking about the whole process, it can be quite long or it can be quite short, depends on the companies, but I will just give you very general structure. So how the journey of the job opening starts. We're having the kickoff, the hiring kickoff, the one that we have a discussion. How long does it take to hire someone? When do we need the person? Very often it's we need someone yesterday, or during this discussion we actually putting down the point, the buzzwords. How do we look for the ideal candidate? Where do we look for ideal candidate? What will be there to must have or good to have? With this information, we are actually going to screen candidates. With this information, we will headhunt candidates or source candidates. Um, That's why I also put in my slide the active candidates and passive candidates. If we're talking about the people who are actively looking for a job, you're active candidates. You're the one who is keeping up to date the LinkedIn profile. But as well, we are talking to the passive candidates, the one that we are looking at on the LinkedIn or any other social media. And the buzzwords that have been mentioned before in two previous talks and sessions, this is something that you want to pay attention to. And I also will tell about it a bit more in a moment. Um, about the process, we are the one that connecting you to the process. We are the one there to advise you about the next steps, to explain to you what is expected on the next. We are the one who is connecting you to the right people. We are the one who are carrying you hand to hand through the whole process. We are your source of the information. Please use it. Um, and the closing is usually at the end. This is decision making, whether it's a positive or negative decision, whether it's a decision about the hiring. Use that moment as well for the future. It is always positive because you already have went through the process. You met people. Please do connect with the people for the future. If something didn't work right now, think about it about the future investment. The most precious we have is our time. The time you spend talking to someone, the time you spend applying for the job. This time is valuable and that can be used in the future. We did got a bit insights on the LinkedIn algorithms, and this is amazing. This is how you can use it in the future. The job that you haven't got today might be your job tomorrow or might be a great step or connection. One application can be a good connection to the next job. And I will actually go a bit more into the details here in the recommendations and when we go through every steps and through the journey. I'm really big fan of the candidate journey because I do believe that even though for us talent acquisition partners and recruiters, of course, our stakeholders is a business. Of course, we are thinking how to hire the best candidates for the business. But as well for us, it's our job, it's our time. Uh, we need to find the right people. Why would we invest our time to convince people to go to the job that will not work for them? So in that sense, my advice goes both ways for recruiters and for those who are looking for a job. So before interview, before the process, think what you're looking for. During today conversations or today talk, there was really good advice about making the research, think about what you're looking for, about the place you want to work at, about the culture, about the company, about the people. I would advise you actually put it down to the list. Write down the list. What is important for you? Are you looking to change a career? Are you looking for something specific? Are you looking for the culture in the company? Are you looking for relocation? List it down. What is the top priorities? List down the questions that you want to ask. As I mentioned before during the explaining the candidate journey, we are there for you. We are there to give you information. We are there to be able to answer on the sometimes feels like uncomfortable questions, but we are there to have this open discussion because better we get connected, better information flow we get from you and you get from us. We are not mind readers. We are not obstacle on your way. We are a supporter. We are there to send your message to the hiring managers. We are there to make your process, the hiring process, as smooth as possible. So before the interview, I would recommend you not only to have the list of what you're looking for, what you're expecting. Um, think about the company where you're applying. Um, do you have a good, clear CV? Resume or like the cover letter. Again, it's my personal experience. I look through hundreds and hundreds CVs every day. The more clear CV, it's easier for me. The recommendation letter, it's better to have it, but if it's bad, it's better not to have it. If you understand what I mean. If you have a good explanation of your motivation, why you're applying, add it on. If it adds value to your CV, add it on. If it doesn't add any value, maybe it's better to skip it. CV, you got great advices from previous speakers and from LinkedIn, how you can have your presence. And that's also when I'm telling you, think what you're looking for. Do you want to build your presence? Use those buzzwords, use the words that you can be found with. If you want to hide yourself, don't use those words. That's how the algorithm works as well. If you got tired of being all the time getting attracted, the recruiter is sending you hundreds and hundreds spamming messages, think how you can hide, how you can still have your CV, but write it down simply that you're not open for that conversation right now. Again, going back to the before interview, read, and that advice goes for both sides. Take at least 10 minutes before you enter the interview to read who you're actually talking to, what the company is doing. You don't have to go to the details. It will show your motivation. It will show that you actually know what you're doing. But again, just I can give you the example from my personal life. I did have the interview where across like 10, 15 minutes, I realized the candidate is completely blurring out. The candidate doesn't understand the questions I'm asking. And I was interviewing the candidate for the data engineer when the candidate was a technical product manager. And that was the most embarrassing moment probably in my career. And that's why advice goes both ways. Take your time 10 minutes before the interview, read actually what you're applying for, what you're talking about, what you're looking for. During the interview, this is your starting point. This is your moment to ask questions. There are do's and don'ts. Remember that the recruiters, we're doing our job. Remember about the GDPR. Remember about the information that you don't have to provide because we are actually really strict about the inclusiveness. We are really strict about the personal information. Recruiters do not need the information about your religious, political, family situation. You can keep it to yourself. Of course, I cannot tell you do not share that, but again, think about your information that you're sharing as a value adding. Is it adding the value to that conversation that you will be sharing, that you have um, something outside of the work? We're not stopping you from that, but if someone asking you that, you have absolute right to say that you don't want to answer that question because no one has a right to ask you those questions. And this, it has to be somewhere written as an ethics as well across all the recruiters' job. There are just areas that we do not ask. At the same time, we do have the areas that, or the questions that we do ask. And usually I personally do explain why I'm asking those questions. If it's a relocation case, I will ask whether it's the only one person relocates or the person relocates with a partner, or whether they have kids or animals. So in that sense, I'm just gathering information on that, that we know how many people we relocate. But I would explain why I'm asking those questions, that I will never ask questions that is not relevant to the job or like not relevant to the case. And again, I would advise you to set your borders. And if someone asks the questions which are inappropriate, just say that you are not going to answer them. You have absolute right there. Also, the interview, it's your moment to ask questions. Salary. I actually did love this question about that. What should I have asked you? And I haven't. I do use it a lot. And usually it's puzzles people, but then they get relaxed and they do give me some information that they missed or I haven't asked them and they came up with it. The salary, usually these subjects that very difficult to talk about. It can be cultural, it can be aggressive sometimes that how much you're going to pay. Again, remember that the recruiters, we are the messengers, so don't shoot the messenger. At the best case scenario, we do have the fork. But discussing with you, very often, as I said, I'm talking to the tech people. I'm not technical person myself, but I'm a personal people person. So I do talk to people all the time. I have 3, 4, 5 interviews per day. So I'm more or less aware of the salary ranges. I'm more or less aware of the levels, but I will never price tag you. I will never tell you that you're a junior or you're a senior and this is how much we will be paying you because I cannot guarantee that. And I will not give you the warranties on something that I cannot provide. I do advise you to prepare and set your mind on what you want to get, what is your expectation as well for the salary, as well on the compensation, what is important for you in the companies, and speak about it openly. I do understand when you're looking for a job and you're not sure about your positioning, it might be quite difficult. So you can go a bit around and ask recruiters recommendations or ask for the fork, but I do recommend you to do the homework and also do the research in your area and how much you would love to earn, because nowadays the money is also not the driver, or like not the main driver. It's also about the company and the values and other aspects that you're looking for. Follow up. Don't be shy. We are people. We don't bite. And as well, we are people. We are forgetting things. On my table is to talk to the hiring managers, to talk to the candidates, to follow up the candidates, to send the home assignment, to remind about the home assignment, to pick up the home assignment, to ask to review a home assignment. It might be easily that I just forgot to follow up with you. I'm really, really sorry if you're one of those candidates that I didn't get back to you within the first 24 or 48 hours. But I do as well tell to all my candidates, if you feel that we're missing something, you have follow up questions, you have a great question about what to expect from the next stage, please do send that question. We do try to make your journey as smooth as possible and walk you through every step to tell you what is the expectation from the next call, that you come prepared, that you know who you're going to be talking to. But we do forget about things. Um, it just leaves out of the calendars through the Slack channels, through the email. I'm not looking for the excuses. I'm just really advising you to follow up. As well, you absolutely have the right to ask for the feedback. If the journey went not the direction you wish for, that you haven't received the job that you were looking for, you still have the right to have a feedback. Again, please do not shoot the messenger, do not shoot the recruiter, do not ask why exactly you see that I haven't done this well because I'm great at this. Very often we are collecting the information or collecting feedback from the team members, and we're summarizing it and giving you summary that you can use for the future, for the next steps. And stay connected with us. As I said before, and as we seen already, we learned about the LinkedIn algorithm. It might be that right now we don't have something that fits, but it will fit in the next several months. Something comes up. My fellow recruiter from another company has something that fits better for you. It's in my best interest to find something for you that not only excites you, but actually gives you the opportunity to go for work and stay, because it's not in my interest to spend my time to hire you and then you're unhappy with the first 3 months and you leave to another company. So we are their partners as well. We're in that sense walk hand in hand. And if we stay connected, you never know. I might also change the company and a candidate we have a better fit or we meet in the next company as well. So the connection always do matter. So for the next actionable points or actual advices, as I said, research, plan, think also about this list that I mentioned before. If you have the list about the companies that you're keeping conversations, write down the questions, write down the answers. It will help you to keep a track what you discussed. Sometimes there are some interesting ideas comes up during the conversations. I do that as well. I'm not looking for the job actively, but I go for interviews if someone calls up. I do apply for the jobs if I see interesting company, just to practice this, to be on that side um, as being a part of the candidate journey. I do write the list. I do advise people to practice and practice and practice um, for these expectations and the research. Do build your brand. Do put it into the LinkedIn. Do you create your own personal website if you have a chance, if you have interest in that? More visible you are you in the social media, it's easier to find you. If you use the buzzwords, it's easier for us to find you. Again, if you don't want to be found, you can hide the words. We are, as recruiters, very often using as well the LinkedIn licenses, the recruiter licenses search. And we do know as well that some software engineers write the or misspell the engineers on purpose. So there are many variations of the engineer spell that we will try to find you. We will look for the wizards, for whatever possible naming there is. But again, if you want to be found, build it in a way that you can be found. There is very often about the question about the CVs and resumes, whether you have to write it personalized to each company. My advice there to write one CV, or like your LinkedIn is a best CV where you can put everything, but make it as a Lego blocks. And once you're applying CVs, try to personalize it to the each. Of course, if you're applying actively, it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. It's not that easy. But once you have your Lego blocks written in the separate document, it's easier than to put it down to one CV. Remember that recruiters screen 100 CVs every day that we look diagonally. It has to be clean. It has to be fast to read. It has to be understandable. It has to have this language and the words that will catch up our attention. And these Lego blocks will help you actually to personalize your CV and change it according to the different jobs. Um, Personal branding, as I said, think about what you're missing, whether you're missing communication skills, whether you're not comfortable with talking to recruiters. Think if you need some mentorship, think if you need to actually go to interviews more often just to get these skills talking to other people. um, Talk to recruiters, join our communities, see it from another side. Think about hard skills and soft skills. Build up. Think about not what you have now, but about what you want to have. What is there that you would love to do and you don't do now, but why you don't do it? If there is something missing there, how you can achieve it there. And presence, as I said, CV and all of that is something important to be visible there. It's something important to be connected with the recruiters because we do tends to be very empathic. And if we can't hire you at our positions right now, we are tend to share your resumes with others. Um, Apply, accept, talk, engage. Do it. Just do it. Be actionable. And one last piece of advice for the during interview. I use it myself as well. If you get nervous and you need time to breathe or need time to think, keep a glass of water with you at the table. Someone is asking some uncomfortable question, or you need just a moment to put your mind together, to put your thoughts together. Um, Say, wonderful question. Take your glass of water, sip it, take your time, slow down, relax. We know it can be shaky, but it's shaky from our side as well.